absolutely delighted to be up here this afternoon with my partner in crime over here from RecycleBank. It's the second time in a week we've been able to come along and give you an expose on where we are. And I say where we are because we're still in a pilot scheme. But just a little story. I walked through the main forum this morning and saw Delilah the dinosaur in the front, and I thought, oh, that's good, very fitting to come here and do this presentation, because if we don't evolve, we'll die. And I think what this scheme is all about is actually innovation. It's about some fresh thinking, and it's a journey. If we get there, fine. If we don't, we try. And I think that's what I want to present to you. So innovation to us was bringing new methods, ideas, break new ground, pioneer, blaze a trail, and it certainly feels like that over the last 6 to 9 months.
RecycleBank is a pioneering initiative that helps councils to improve recycling rates and divert waste away from landfill. Following huge success in the US, with over 1 million people now taking part, the scheme was launched in the UK in June 2009.
We all know we need to do our bit for recycling.
Next to residents being paid, yes, paid for their rubbish.
The throw-as-you-go lifestyle could soon be a thing of the past.
The challenge: how do you help councils improve their recycling rates?
This country has done wonderfully in recycling, but there's so much more that we can do, and we believe that the RecycleBank program is well suited to meet the environmental goals of the UK when it comes to raising their recycling rates. RecycleBank brings benefit to both residents and to the council. For the council, of course, there is the cost savings associated with landfill diversion, but there's also an important economic development aspect to the RecycleBank program.
The solution: reward residents every time they recycle.
Residents get to participate in the program, and by doing so are earning valuable rewards, £135 a year worth of rewards. But additionally, they get to contribute to the bettering of the environment in their community. I think empowering residents to understand that their individual actions make a difference is one of the true motivating factors of the RecycleBank program.
I think this scheme is a great scheme. It's a win-win-win. It's a win for the residents who get rewarded for doing the right thing by recycling more materials. It's a win for the council because it doesn't have to pay so much in landfill tax, and of course it's a win for the environment.
We don't believe in penalty charges for residents. We believe that incentives will help people do the right thing, and that's why we're really keen to involve RecycleBank in our waste and recycling program.
Recycle, record and reward. How RecycleBank works. Operating the RecycleBank scheme is simple. Household wheelie bins are fitted with a low-frequency RFID tag. Upon collection, the bin is weighed and the information is sent to RecycleBank, who convert the weight of recycling collected into RecycleBank points. Points are then placed in the householder's RecycleBank account, which they can redeem against a great range of money-off vouchers and products and services from participating partners. On average, a household will receive over £135 of rewards in a year.
I found it very easy to activate the account on the computer.
I registered online, and immediately within, I think, the following week, I suddenly got points, which I could redeem, and that was mine.
Well, I think probably our recycling is probably, probably 6.5 out of 10, something like that, and I think this should push us towards 8.5, 9 out of 10, and I hope that the knock-on effect in our local community, in our road, when people see what the benefits that we're getting, people will see that they can benefit from that also and want to be part of it.
As well as rewarding residents, there are great incentives for RecycleBank reward partners. By enabling customers to redeem their points, businesses can benefit from increased custom and help to incentivize householders to recycle.
Well, we decided to become a reward partner following the first meeting. It just seemed a simple and easy thing to do. It made me feel good, but also it gave me the opportunity opportunity to reach new customers.
Look towards a more rewarding future for recycling. Since launching in the UK, the Royal Borough of Windsor and Maidenhead and Holton Borough Council have seen thousands of residents activate their RecycleBank accounts and have already received over 3 million RecycleBank points. Initial results from 2 UK trials point to an increase in recycling of between 30 and 60%, diverting a significant number of tonnes of waste from landfill and helping to save money in waste disposal costs.
Well, I'm sure that once other councils see how easily this has been put in place in the Royal Borough and how effective it's been, they're going to be coming here and saying, tapping the Royal Borough on the shoulder and saying, excuse me, how do we do this?
With all the statistics pointing towards a rewarding future for recycling in the Royal Borough of Windsor and Maidenhead and Holton Borough Council, RecycleBank is looking forward to helping more councils implement the scheme.
Thanks. So my name is Meeta Gournay, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about RecycleBank, and then I'll pass it back over to Terry to tell you about his experience in implementing it. So what is RecycleBank? RecycleBank is a loyalty and rewards program that motivates householders to take positive environmental actions. And contrary to some opinion, we're not a recycling company at all. In fact, we have no more to do with recycling than selling coffee. We're a human behavior and motivation company. And what we try to do is find what inspires people to take a specific action and in order to motivate them to take positive environmental actions. And what we do is we partner with the Royal Borough and the Veolia Environmental Services in order to provide that program. So when the Royal Borough found us, when they came, they discovered RecycleBank and were eager to introduce it in their borough. We were very fortunate to have been chosen for some prestigious awards at the World Economic Forum and the United Nations Environment Program for increasing recycling rates across the United States. And I won't really go over what we just saw in the video, but this is a brief summary about how it works. Recycle, record, reward. And I think what's important to understand is, it's easy for the household, and we then are able to measure how much they recycle, and then we give them points for rewarding for their recycling. They can redeem their points for recycling at our website or at our call center if they don't have internet access. And just to preface this entire presentation, well, it's predominantly about the Royal Borough. We do have other trials going on. So phase 1 was launched in June 2009. It was green waste and primarily targeted to see how willing and test the temperature of residents to see how willing they were to have their green bin chipped with the RFID chip. And it turns out with the reward, they're okay with it. We didn't have any complaints with it at all. And as you'll see with Terry, our activation rates indicate that people are very eager to be rewarded for their recycling. Our second trial was launched in September, and that's for mixed recycling. And what we're doing there is rewarding residents for every kilogram that they recycle. And the goal in this case was to show that incentives and this positive association with recycling will increase recycling. And so Terry will talk about that experience. And Holton Borough Council also launched in October 2009, and they are a pretty different demographic to the Royal Borough of Windsor and Maidenhead in the north of England, but we've also seen some great results. And what's great about Holton also is that they had already had bins in there, they already had commingled material, and the increase we saw on top of that was still very significant. So you've seen some of our website and maybe in previous presentations and throughout the video, but I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about our account page and what it means to the user. On the top right, you see our eco footprint, which is our way of communicating and giving feedback to the household about what impact they have had. And as Dr. Goodwin has said, that's what residents want to know, how much, and understand with the feedback that we're giving them, what impact they're making on the environment. So we try to quantify it in a consumer-friendly way, which is trees saved and gallons of oil saved. On the bottom left, you can see an inbox. So once a user enters their account, they can see emails, and the emails can be reminding them about points they've earned, or any activities that are in the neighborhood, for example, a green fair, or what if their waste collection day is slightly delayed due to seasonal collection. So that's something that information can be distributed to these households in a pretty cost-effective manner. But again, as what we're saying is we're trying to engage our users, and what we do sometimes is provide surveys and ask our residents for feedback about what other reward partners they want to have, what we could do to make the site better, what would motivate them to take a specific action, like increasing their recycling, and we try and incorporate that into our program. So, just briefly, we work with the local authorities and our haulers to provide a good program design. And I think as Dr. Goodwin said from RAP as well, people want it to be easy. They want to recycle, but they want it to be easy and made convenient. So, wheelie bin, commingled, they have capacity. It's what we implemented in Windsor and Maidenhead, and we thought it was a great program design. And then we work with technology providers and the haulers to understand and measure how much people are recycling. So as we talked about in the video, the bins are chipped with RFID tags, but I just want to highlight that we only actually give people points if they've activated their account. So there's no personal information that is tracked on this chip, and it's not a camera, so we don't know what's in the bin. But what we do know is just the weight associated with a particular address, and after a household activates, they can start earning their points, and we associate the weight that they've recycled with their account. Then what we try to do is provide communication, so some of the steps that Terry can walk through, but what we did during our implementation is we sent out a council letter, and we sent out an activation mailer, and what we're trying to do is make it visually pleasing. We're using images, we're trying to explain what it can be recycled, how it works for the household, and that direct mail associated with a lot of press that we've been fortunate to have creates a great positive association with recycling, and that's what we view to be part of our steps towards implementing our program. And the last part is a reward, and so what we do is we try and focus on local partners, because we believe it's incredibly important to stimulate the local economy, to drive people back into the local shops. So that, along with just in general creating choice for our members, we signed up a significant number of partners. So just to summarize, what we believe are the 4 key pillars to driving behavioral change are great program design, measurement, and what RecycleBank comes in and works with our local authorities to do is provide great communication and rewards. And so we believe that while some people recycle, they say they recycle, generally the amount that they recycle or their awareness of it is not in alignment with the amount of waste that they're creating. And so while we believe that an engagement curve that we're taking people along on may start with recycling, it doesn't end there. And so there's further opportunities that we believe, along with waste reduction, that we're going to come and talk to the households about and take them along the curve of engagement, further engagement. But what we really believe is the secret is our reward partners. And so, as I mentioned, we've had a phenomenal amount of success in recruiting local reward partners, national and local reward partners, 200 to date, and a significant majority of them are local businesses. And again, that's driving business back into the local economy. And just to highlight how that works, these partners sign up to our program and sponsor rewards to reward residents, and they honor the rewards free of charge. So we're not buying these rewards and then that's not part of how our business model works. These businesses want to sponsor rewards to reward residents for increasing their recycling. And so the 135 pounds of value is honored by these reward partners that want to speak to the residents about and encourage them to increase their recycling. And in addition, as Terry will cover, what we want to also provide is choice. So we acknowledge that some people may not want to spend their points at Marks and Spencer's and consume more, but they may want to donate their points to charities. So we provide charitable options as well as donations to a local schools program in Windsor and Maidenhead. That's it from me. I'm happy to answer more questions during the Q&A, but I'm going to pass it back over to Terry.
Right, okay. A little bit about Windsor and Maidenhead, not too much because I'm now on roller skates. Our focus is very much, is probably very much like many of yours, reducing costs, encouraging recycling, reducing waste. But I think there's some stuff down the bottom here. We want to look at our own local circumstances, our own solutions, and engage our public. And of course, we see it very much in part of a much, much larger framework. Our profile, it will be in your pack. We're doing okay, 37% recycling. We've got to do more. We've got an awful lot of composters out there, and we're driving big time in terms of our kilograms per household. The story started for us, I think, where we clearly as a council do not subscribe to sticks. We wanted carrots, and we put a robust response into the government's consultation in 2007. We were looking for something which encouraged people, not forcing them into doing it. Now, we carried out a resident survey before we even embarked on this programme, and 98% claimed that they claimed recycling behaviour. 82% stated they would find commingled easier. We've got currently a 2-box system weekly, and indeed so is refuse weekly. That's what our local residents want. But clearly with boxes there are constraints. They're wet, they're heavy, they can't be wheeled, and there's a weight about it. Not everybody can push it to the bottom of their drive, the curbside. 76% of our population said they would support a reward scheme. So it looked good. In terms of what we were looking for, it was a package approach. It's not a scientific experiment that we were embarking on, but certainly it was a pilot. As I said right at the beginning, we were pioneering. We didn't know where on earth we were going to with this, but we would have a go. Objectivity was paramount because, of course, data can be used indiscriminately for whatever reason. We needed to develop a whole package of performance measures, and what I've got there on the screen, reliability, activation, redemption, these all form part of a continuous monitoring package, picking up those drivers of recycling behaviour, so we got an overall picture of what was going on. We launched on June the 1st, 2,847 households, part of about 50% of a subscribed green waste scheme that we launched last November, with a chip in the bin in anticipation this just might be coming in, and 74% have activated their account. That was really, as Mita said, to test the technology. If you're giving rewards, the last thing you want is that technology to let you down. There was a value attached to this. I'm pleased to say that we had less than 1% of the RFID chips failed, having got rid of a dodgy batch at the beginning, where we were just testing them out. Someone in the audience from Veolia, Dave Reynolds, actually thought, well, we ought to check these, and I'm glad he did, because I think it was 3 out of 5 failed. But after that, new batch, solid. September came along, we were happy with the technology, we retrofitted all the vehicles, and 3,735 households were invited in the scheme, and as of now, 62% have activated their account. Phenomenal statistics are still coming. What we're looking in terms, I'll show you a graph in a moment, what I am comfortable standing here saying to you is that the weight at curbside in the bin that's been activated is 30 to 35% up on the original box. Now, that's split. I'll show you that in a second. It goes up higher than that, but at the moment, we're 5 months into this programme. There are all sorts of caveats to this data, and I pour caution on this at the moment. Residents reaping the rewards, look at those stats, 91% found it easy. There's that ease and convenience factor again. 86 found it easy to activate their accounts, the back office stuff was working. 69% found ordering rewards simple. You heard the chap online. And 72% thought the choice, there's another key word in all of this, choice of the rewards were great. Activation levels. I think it's fair to say the team, the partners in this programme were overwhelmed by the level of activation and redemption. That is just a simple trend graph, the green solid and the green dotted at the bottom. You'll see the pattern, it surges up in expectation, it plateaus, out go the mailers, absolutely critical. You've got a high profile, high intensity marketing and PR campaign. It lifted off again. We got to the blue, our blue bin, and again, that was commingled, that lifted off rapidly. There is another version of this graph that has two trend lines on it. They run up like the railway tracks. They run parallel. The activation on both was absolutely identical in terms of its trend line. In terms of benefiting local businesses in the community, you heard it's 4.7 million RecycleBank points now. 2,022 households have ordered rewards, and 6,107 rewards have been ordered. I think it should be repeated actually. Those are the partners. There's one on there I'd like you to take notice of, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the Boyne Hill Primary School, because you can actually donate your points to schools and charities rather than spend them. And that's a local authority school, and the significance of this is that they have, through RecycleBank are making a grant, people have donated their points, and they have built a biodiversity garden for the kids, and there's another school as well. They are learning about sustainability, biodiversity, ecology. It's fantastic, and it's helping out obviously on the grant and fits in with the S3 education policy. But a whole spread of rewards. Residents are gathering their points. 500,000 points have been redeemed now. £700,000 potential value into the local economy. Not all of them have been spent, and we're well on track for that £135 per year average rewards. Overwhelming success so far. Now, this is what we're waiting for, I guess. This is where we are current. At the beginning, what you've got there in the blue, yes, blue, is our baseline figure, best available data. We're going back in February to check that. That was based on a waste composition analysis over 2 seasons, 2008. Then you have a non-activated new blue bin. Then you have, this is commingled, then you have the effect of the activation, the incentivisation. People at the beginning, of course, they're not daft, they stockpiled their recycling, and so we got some spikes. We then ended up in, and it started to stabilise, and then I disregarded in the figures I gave you earlier the effect of the snow and the Christmas close down and the disruption there. That's what we're getting at the moment. If you look at the stats, excluding front and back end, you're looking at, careful with these figures, about 22% difference between a box and a bin, another 23% or so on top of that for the incentivisation element, which is quite significant. So in summary, we believe we're on track, significantly increasing recycling, we're saving money on landfill and taxis, it's driving economic value for the residents and particularly the reward partners. There is some intangible benefits here. We've got trust as well going on with the reward partners. Windsor's got 7.5 million tourists coming to our town. That economy needs to thrive. Those people are benefiting from increased footfall and turning over the economy. Peter, thank you for my part.
Just a quick slide to say that success is also happening in Halton. Over 50% of households have activated their account, and the increase is 50 to 60% heavier if you're on RecycleBank. RecycleBank households are recycling 50 to 60% more weight than the rest of the borough. So again, we're really thrilled with that, and welcome any questions later on. Thanks.